Hi weaving friends, I hope you're feeling great about this brand new year that we have ahead of us. I am feeling really hopeful and enthusiastic, and one of the reasons for that is that the diamond stripe towel weave along is going to run again this year. Never heard of it? That is fine. I'm here to explain it all to you. This will be the third year running the weave along, and I'm really just running it each year due to popular demand. And the weave along actually came about through people asking me whether I could do an extra video class to complement the diamond stripe towels pattern that I have in my Etsy shop. So it's a digital pattern, downloadable PDF, but I've made some extra classes and weave along to go along with it. Let me tell you a little bit about the pattern. The original pattern is woven on a rigid heddle loom using 2 heddles. Now this is one of the reasons that the weave along came about, because using 2 heddles is a little bit more of an advanced technique on the rigid heddle loom. And so some people who bought the pattern felt that they could benefit from just that little bit of extra help. You know, it's so much easier to be able to do something when you see someone moving, making the actions to do it, rather than just following written instructions and photographs. So that's why I started the weave along in the first place. The pattern is for some lovely kitchen towels in a diamond pattern, and I'm going to show you some of my towels in a moment that I have here. But first I want to go through a list of questions that people usually have about the weave along. Now I do have a whole page written out of frequently asked questions and things that will kind of put you in the right direction if you're not sure if this weave along is the right thing for you at the moment. And I will link to that page down below. I will also link to the pattern on Etsy, and anything else that I mention in today's video, there will be links underneath this video. But I'll take you through the basic questions first. The weave along is going to run on January the 15th, 2024. This video is if you're watching later, which for me is only 9 days away, maybe 10 days away for you, depending on where you live. And there are 2 ways to get into the weave along to participate. The first way is if you are a member of the online weaving school, you are automatically enrolled in this weave along. So you can just jump right in. You can follow the links to the Facebook group where we have the main component of the weave along, the support. I'm also going to have some really fun giveaways in there. And there's just a lot of ideas sharing, lots of photo sharing. It's a fantastic place. If you are a member, you do still need to purchase the pattern to participate in the weave along, but the actual weave along component for you as a member is free. If you're not a member of the online weaving school, that's fine, you can still participate. You will also need to purchase the pattern, and then to actually enroll in the weave along, it's going to be just $5 US. I keep the cost really low so that as many people as possible can benefit from going through the weave along. And then there's an enrollment period where I open up the enrollments, usually for about 3 days you have to enroll. Now, the way that you get the notification for the opening of enrollments is by being on my mailing list. Again, the link will be down below. If you're on the mailing list, you will get the email that will tell you it's time to enroll, and then you'll have a few days to be able to get into that enrollment. Once you're enrolled, you have permanent access to the weave along videos and to the Facebook group. So there's no real time limit except for that initial enrollment period, which I open and then close the enrollments. I do usually like people to be able to finish up their towels within maybe a 4-week period, but I don't enforce that in any way. Everything still remains open. I understand that life happens. Some people are away, some people are working, some people are not well. Whatever it is, you can actually enroll in the weave along during that short enrollment period, and then you will have the access so you can come back to it at another time and finish the weave along that way. And a lot of students do that. Because the Facebook group remains open all the time, you can jump in there and it's likely that somebody else will be going through it as well. So what you need to participate in the weave along is a rigid heddle loom, obviously. However, some people do choose to weave the towels either on a table loom or a floor loom, and for that purpose I give the weaving draft within the weave along. I don't have specific instructions for floor or table loom weaving for this pattern, but the draft is provided if you want to do it that way instead. Now, as I said, you'll need 2 heddles for your rigid heddle. I personally use two 12.5 dent heddles. That's not strictly necessary. You can use 10 dent heddles. You can even use 7.5 dent heddles or 8 dent heddles if that's what you have, but you have to realize that you're going to need a yarn that is appropriate to those size of heddles and that your tails will turn out differently to mine, but it's still doable. So don't feel that you can't participate if you don't have the exact same materials. Weaving width for the project is 20 inches width or wider. However, having said that, I also provide some extra materials within the weave along for those of you who have a narrower loom. Now, I finish my tails on a sewing machine and a serger. If you have a sewing machine, that is brilliant. That will be very helpful for you, but you can actually finish your tails by hand as well. There are options for everybody here. As far as the yarn goes, I use 8/2 cotton, but this is also adaptable. As I mentioned, if you're using a different sized heddle, you will have to adapt your yarn to that size of heddle. And also you don't strictly have to use 8/2 cotton. You can use cotton or some other plant fiber for your towels. Now, some of you might be wondering, am I really ready for a 2 heddle project? What I usually recommend is if you have never woven anything on 2 heddles before, then I highly recommend that you go through my 2 heddles class first. This is one of my most popular classes, Weaving with 2 heddles. It shows you a lot of things that you can do with 2 heddles, but it also gets you comfortable with the idea of weaving with 2 heddles, setting up your loom, and just starting to understand that process a little bit. Now, I know that there are weavers out there who they could purchase the pattern, enroll in the weave along, and weave these towels just fine with 2 heddles, even if they haven't done it before. But I think for the majority of people, you are going to be much more successful if you have that little bit of background first. So that's what I recommend for absolute beginners. Something that I inevitably always get asked during this weave along is, can I weave these towels in 8/4 cotton? And the answer is yes, absolutely. And I have provided an extra section within the weave along for people who want to do that. The beauty of it being the 3rd year of running this weave along is that I think I've addressed almost every question that has possibly been asked, and I've been able to come back to the weave along class and update it all with extra sections. So it's really extremely thorough for all different weavers in all different situations. Where the weave along is going to take place, the class component of the weave along is inside the online weaving school. So if you are planning to enroll in the weave along, I recommend that ahead of time you go in and make an account at the weaving school. It's free to make an account and register, and that just means that when I do open up the enrollments on the 15th, remember it's going to be the 15th in Australia, it may be late on the 14th wherever you are in the world, because in Australia we're always one day or at least a number of hours ahead. If you go in and you have your account already, then when I open up the enrollments, then it's going to be easy for you to just go straight in. You don't have to enter any of your details. You can log into your account, purchase the weave along, and then you're in, no worries. So that's where the actual weave along class is going to be. The pattern to purchase before the weave along is in my Etsy shop. So you can purchase that ahead of time as well. That can be purchased at any time at all. You may have that pattern already, and in that case, all you need to do is to go into the weave along. And then, as I already mentioned, the actual group, the focus group for this weave along is going to be over on Facebook. And the link for that Facebook group is within the weave along. So once you've enrolled, you can go straight in and click over to the Facebook group as well. If you're unsure about using the weaving school website, it's pretty easy to navigate, but there are a few extra things that are helpful to know, especially if you're a little bit tech challenged. I do have a free class on how to use the site, and so if that's a concern for you, you could pop into that class ahead of time, complete that, and then you'll have no trouble navigating the site. Now, the last question that I often get asked is, I was in last year's weave along or the year before. can I come back and participate again? And my answer is yes, please. I would love to have you back. The more the merrier. And for people who have woven the towels already, they are a fantastic help to the people who are a little bit newer coming in. And you're also a fantastic inspiration for those people as well. So yes, I would absolutely love to have you back in. Once you have the pattern and you're enrolled in the weave along, you have no more to pay. All you have to do is jump back into what is hopefully already familiar to you. So I would love to have you back and see lots of familiar faces in the weave along group. Now I think I've addressed most of the questions, but if you have any more questions, you need clarification on anything, absolutely comment underneath this video, or you can reach me by email if you prefer that. I'm more than happy to help you out with questions. I'm really looking forward to this weave along, and I know a lot of you are too. Before I go, I want to show you some examples of the diamond stripe towels that I personally have woven. So I'm going to come up a little bit closer and just show you some of the colors that I have used personally. So obviously this is one color in the warp and a different color in the weft, and you can see each side of the towel is slightly different. Can you see why I named these the diamond stripe towels? Because not just the diamonds, but you can see stripes as well, and that is a cool feature of these towels. Okay, let's go on to the next one. This is one side here, another side here. Another thing I really like about these towels is because they're different on each side, one of the colors shows more predominantly on one side than the other. Once you hem them and do your double fold hem, you have a contrast hem, and it's beautiful. I love that. Now for this one, this is a little bit different to the others because I actually used a doubled weft instead of a single weft, and you have the option of doing either one. So this towel is slightly, ever so slightly heavier than the other ones that I've done, and also the yellow is very dominant on this side, and those diamonds really pop out at you. So that's another option. Singled or doubled weft, both are discussed within the weave along. Okay, here's another one with blue and orange. Again, there's that beautiful contrast hem that I just love. And another one, this one I actually made a little bit shorter because I had a shorter amount of warp left on that particular day that I was weaving these. And so I just made a shorter towel. They make really great little bread towels, like things that you can pop over something in the kitchen as a cover. They're still great as a dish towel, still big enough. You could even do like napkin sizes of these. That'd be nice. You could have a matching set, be lovely. And then this one, this might be one of my favorite color combinations. It's like a magenta and a blue. And that's the other side. I look forward to seeing your questions and comments below this video, and I look forward to seeing so many of you in the weave along, and I know it's going to be a whole lot of fun. It's a great way to start the new year 2024 with some beautiful towels, a wonderful supportive community group, and a successful project. I'm ready for it, and I hope you are too. Until next time, happy weaving.